In the quiet moments, that's where I'll find a little room to breathe, leave it all behind. Give me room to breathe, I need some time to heal my heart, to clear my mind. Gonna love myself, yeah, I believe in the power of me. Just give me room to breathe.
Hey family, welcome back to the Room2Breathe Podcast. I'm your host, Life Coach 614, and I am so glad you made space to be here today. Now, before we get into this episode, do me a quick favor. If you are feeling the vibe, go ahead and show some love. Tap the screen, like, comment, and share this with someone who may need a little healing energy today. And if this is your first time here or you haven't already done so, go ahead and hit that follow button, subscribe to our channel, so you're always tapped in when a new episode drops. I also want to personally invite you to check out our digital home at selfcareclub.org, where you'll find everything from affirmative apparel to motivational merch and free resources to nourish your growth and remind you that you are supported every step of the way. Just know that you don't have to do it alone. We're healing in community, growing one breath, one moment, one day at a time. So today, give yourself permission to pause, to reflect, and to make space for peace, for growth, but most importantly for you. And if anything in this episode hits home, be sure to drop a green heart in the chat. It's our way of saying I'm healing, I'm growing, and I'm showing up for me. Now, let's get ready to breathe, reflect, and grow together. Today's episode is real, raw, and beyond close to home for me. Today, I'm sitting down with my husband to talk about the emotional weight that Black men carry, especially when they're leading their families and trying to hold everything together. We're talking about the pressure to provide, protect, and to perform in a world that doesn't often see or understand them. What it means to be a husband, a father, a son, and a man of faith while trying to care for others and still care for yourself. This conversation is for every Black man who feels like he has to stay strong, even when he's tired, for the ones carrying silent battles, but still showing up with love day after day. This one's for you, but it's also for the women who love these men, who see the weight that they carry and want to support them in healing and growing and finding peace. Family, help me to welcome my husband, Shannon, into the room to breathe.
Hey.
Hey, honey.
Hey, what's up, baby?
How are you?
We've been in the house all day, so you know.
Yeah. Well, listen, before we get into your story, babe, I have to do this officially. I want to check in with the soul, and I want to ask you how your spirit is doing today.
Hold on. Let me channel my spirits. Okay. I let her know. She's going to take care of me later. We good. We're actually good. So, yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Well, let's just jump into this because I have been anxiously awaiting this conversation, babe.
Okay.
So let's just start. Let's just start here. What does it truly feel like to be seen as the head of the family?
It's hard. It's hard because, when you're the head of the family, you're taking on a lot and you're not saying a lot, but you're taking on a lot. Like in our case, we're married, we have a kid, and then we have others that have come into our home. Yeah. That's a lot because the thing is, if I fail, everybody fails. And, that weighs a lot on me. So, yeah.
What kind of pressure comes with that role of being the head, especially as a Black man in the world today?
I mean, it's a lot. I mean, overall, it's just a lot. I mean, you do what you can, you put your faith in God, and you just let him take care of your stress as much as you can. But the pressure in itself is a lot. As a man, trying to show my son how to be a man, trying to be the protector, the protector, the one that go out there and make the money to make sure the mortgage is paid, everything like that. It's a lot, and it's up being a business owner. It's just a lot. That's all I mean, honestly, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I say I understand, but obviously I don't understand it being the head or the man. So I can empathize with the pressure that you're referring to, but I know that that weight doesn't just come from like the outside world, that it also shows up within the house too. I mean, in the conversations that you and I have about, co-parenting and raising a child,
Yeah.
and trying to juggle that, helping him step into adulthood, so like even within our relationship, and the expectations of others and the love, that we give and receive. I know that you've shared with me before that sometimes you feel like if you fall short that you're letting us down.
Yep. Because if I fall short, so like for instance, if I like with me owning my business, if I fall short in that, then this household falls too. Like that saying, everybody's a paycheck away. I don't care how much money you have saved. You never have enough to pay everything up front and in full, whatnot. If anything were to happen to me, this household falls. You get what I'm saying? Whether it's sickness, like I said, you can have money saved. If I get sick, then we will have to pull for savings to take care of medical bills. And sometimes that's just not enough. Like we need more. But at the end of the day, it's just like that pressure in itself of me failing and falling, it weighs a lot on me. You know what I mean? Like some people, like, to be a man, it's a struggle. It's a struggle, especially when you're a man trying to do the right thing. You hear about so many other men doing XYZ, getting away with it, and they're there and you're here and you're like, well, I'm doing everything that I was taught to do. I was taught to be a good guy. I was taught to, treat women with respect. I was taught to protect women. You know what I mean? So then when life hits you and you see everybody that's not like, they're not in your mind frame and they're doing something else, and you're like, well, why and I'm not there, and they're there, but I'm doing all the right things. It takes a toll on you. I mean, and then take into consideration like the just the world in itself against Black men as well. Like I got not only that I worry about, then I have to worry about, the hate out there. You know what I mean? The hate of people hating us because of our skin color when we're just trying to make it like everybody else. You can't group us all together. We're not all the same. You know what I mean?
Right.
And people are so focused on color instead of characteristics, or not even characteristics, but the character of a person, that it gets stressful, because even when I step into someone's home and they're not the same color as me, I have that in the back of my head, like, oh, are they going to look at me different because of this? You know what I mean? So there's a lot of things that I think about. There's a lot of things I think about that have me stressed, or I worry about the pressure and everything like that. Just from every day waking up in the morning, it could be a exercise in its own. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And so like that fear of, letting us down, where do you think that belief comes from?
It's internal. That's just me, because it's just me. I can't speak for everyone else. I could just speak for me.
Yeah.
Me, I can't fail. I can't quit. I can't fail. Because if I fail, I feel like if I give up, I will feel like a failure. And that's what I don't want my son to ever see. Like if you fall, you just get back up and you keep it moving. You don't sit down and be like, woe was me or anything like that. You get your butt back up, you dust yourself off, and you keep at it again. I don't care how many times you try it. The fact is that you didn't give up. And that's what I try to instill in my son. And, that's a process in itself, but, just making sure my son see when he get older and he actually, they say the brain doesn't mature until you're 25. Hopefully it would click to him of everything that I've been through, and he'll realize that my dad was a strong man. He never gave up on us. He made sure I had what I had. He might not give me everything I wanted, but he gave me what I needed. You know what I mean? And one day, hopefully he will get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just raising a son that's respectful. And that's one of my biggest things too. Just raising a son that's respectful, who sees me and I see him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
How does that impact the way you show up for us? Like, do you feel like it pushes you to go harder? Like it inspires you to go harder?
It does. Because the thing is, it's not only for you guys though. It's for me too. Like, I love a challenge. Don't get me wrong. I'm with you. I am with you. So I love a challenge.
Yeah.
And to me, waking up every day is like a new challenge. Me being a pawpaw is a new challenge.
Yeah.
What can I do today that will better me? Like where I'm able to better myself from yesterday. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I wake up looking up new things on how to do new things, and that's how I just operate. I love to learn. So yeah.
Yeah, I know that kind of pressure can make you also feel like rest isn't an option.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like slowing down means that you're falling behind. I've witnessed over, the years of us being together, times where you should and could be resting, but you feel like you have to be doing something. Like you have this need to
always move.
Yeah.
On my days off, I can't even sit down. I'm making you guys, I'm cooking for you guys, or I'm cleaning the carpet, or I'm doing something.
Yeah.
I can't even sit down. I don't know how to sit down and just fully be like, I'm not doing anything today.
Yeah.
My mind runs a million miles an hour, and I'm just like, what can I be doing to make myself better? What can I be doing in this house to make it where I feel happy?
Yeah.
And it's not that I'm not happy. I'm very happy, but it's just, I don't know how to stop. I don't know if that's the ADHD.
Yeah. But I will say that you've been learning to set boundaries. And so
because my health, I realized my health was taking a toll. And when I started my new goal for me to set for me, like within the last 3 weeks, I set that for me because if I can't be strong physically, there's going to come a time where I won't be able to be strong mentally because my physical will overtake my mental. You've heard me complain about, oh, I'm sore, my back hurts, or I'm just like my knees hurt and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I have to make sure I'm good physically and mentally before I can help a lot, other people. And that's where I am right now in my journey and learning how to take care of me, finding my self-care. There was a time when you and I got married, I used to want to be up under you all the time, and now I'm like, whoo, she's in her room. Thank Jesus, Let me be by myself and close this bedroom door. I don't want to talk to nobody,
like free at last.
I enjoy it. And, you helped me get to that point because you used to be like, oh, you don't have friends. It's not about me not having friends. I just don't trust everybody. I don't, what type of person I am. I don't trust everybody. People come a dime a dozen, as you've known.
Yeah.
And I don't have time for fake. Time is something you can't get back.
Yeah.
I could get material things back. I could get money back, but I can't get my time. I just turned 44 in June. And I look back and I said, if I've known the stuff that I know now, I wouldn't have been playing when I was in my 20s and 30s about nothing. I would have been like, look at here. This is
Right.
what I want to do, and this is how. If I had that confidence back then that I have now, I think I would have been like far more advanced than what I am now. But everything is for a reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything is on God's terms. So
Yeah. And I mean, and they say hindsight 2020. So I mean, we could always look back and see the error in our ways now, clearly, when we couldn't then. So I mean, it is definitely a part of the journey.
mhm.
Um, when going back to you learning how to set your boundaries, how have you started creating space for your own needs and limits within the family? And has it been hard for you to do?
Nope. I had this beautiful creature that went to therapy, and she learned
Mhm.
some things. And over this time, this beautiful creature from God, this woman has helped me overcome my fears of saying no. There was a time where I was a yes man. Now, excuse my French, I don't give two fucks. If you're not financing me, fucking me, or feeding me, I don't give a fuck. I'm sorry, but that's just how you said I could speak candidly. But no, like
I would
honestly,
expect nothing less from you,
okay,
my love.
so but honestly, that's how I feel right now. Like
Yeah.
right now I got to take care of home, and that's my main goal, is to take care of home, take care of me first, take care of home, make sure you're good, my son is good, my mother's good, because as you guys know, I don't know if she's told you, but my mother lives in the household with us. And I take care of her because she has dementia. And my niece lives here with her daughter, and I'm pawpaw to her daughter. And that, being in their lives, me having a full house makes me happy.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you don't see it that way. You want everybody out, but for me, I've always wanted that, you know.
Yeah.
And when you came to me and you said, my mom was ever able to come so it could take the stress off of me, that hit home. That I knew right then I knew before that,
Yeah.
before we even got married, that she was like my ride or die. But I knew right then and there that, you're for till death does us part.
Period, boo.
Period.
We locked in.
I don't need a blink for nothing, because you already know what to do.
You better not blink. You better not blink.
So yeah, and yeah, I forgot what the question was though. What was it again?
It's all good. It's all good. Look, you answered it. Because while you're holding us up, as you mentioned, you also caring for your mom, and so being a son and a caregiver and still, our provider all
Running
at once.
the
So
business, being
yeah,
everybody's I have no space for me, in a sort of sense of I'm everybody's. I'm either somebody's. That's my son. That's my husband, or that's my pawpaw. You know what I mean?
well, you're the dad, the
And
uncle,
I'm the
the
uncle pawpaw daddy.
yeah,
My niece
yeah,
and my great niece, but I'm uncle. I'm uncle daddy to my niece, and to my great niece, I'm uncle pawpaw daddy. You know what I mean? And I'm whatever they need me to be, but I want them to know what it feels like to be loved, because they are loved.
yeah,
Because their parents. I mean, the other half isn't doing what they're supposed to do. And I just feel like I have to be there for them, because I want them to experience and know how people need to treat them when they do find love. And
yeah,
that's why I show that love to you as much as I can. Even
yeah,
on the days I don't like you, I show I it's not that I don't like you. I love you, but you know.
yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. So, what has the journey of caring for mom while raising our son taught you about manhood and legacy and love?
For my son, him seeing me take care of my mom, hopefully, I pray to God that when he gets older, he pays it forward. Because if I were to die, I need him to step up to make sure you're good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
there's a lot of kids, they don't have a great relationship with their parents, and you know, we have our little tips and taps with him, but hopefully one day he wakes up and he sees the bigger picture, and he's there for you if I'm not able to be there for you in that capacity, because from illness or just death, because tomorrow's not promised and the next minute's not promised to us. So
Yeah.
if anything were to happen, I need to know that he's going to be able to protect you as much as he can.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely it's like you're mirroring the behavior that you want or hope to see from him. Like
Mhm.
you're showing him the compassion that you would hope that he um I guess kind of goes out there, like you said, to kind of pay it forward in the future,
Mhm.
even if it's not caring for us as we get older, but just to
Even
show
for
that,
his kids, his
yeah,
his wife, whoever he decides to be with, I just pray to God he doesn't end up like some of these guys that go out here, they just be with everybody,
yeah,
and then I don't want him to, because a lot of our traumas start when we're young. you know
yeah,
I've noticed with a lot of men and women, they tend to gravitate towards older people, tends to gravitate towards younger kids, and I call them kids because they're still kids, you know what I mean?
yeah,
To be in a relationship with them, which I've never understood. I've always liked my women older than me, or around my age. But I just pray that he sees me, and he ended up being like me or even better than me.
yeah,
Yeah. So we know he could defend himself, but we just want him to know when to do what he needs to do when he needs to do it. You know what I mean?
yeah. And so I mentioned legacy, and thinking about, you know, our new members, right? Your niece, your great niece, right? So, when we speak about legacy, you've stepped up not just for our son, but for, like I said, your niece and your great niece too. And I feel like your presence in their life is so powerful. What drives you to show up for these young women in your life the way that you do? Like, what pushes you to?
The generational curses, we have to break them. People have to break them.
Yeah,
And my thing is with my niece, her dad wasn't in her life, so her not knowing how relationships, I mean, you know what she's been through, and
yeah,
she, when I tell you, just jump from bad relationship to next bad relationship to next bad relationship, to a point where it got to a point where she found the one. Hopefully she found the one, and she's happy.
yeah,
It's like when you got a person you could sit down and can communicate with, and y'all not arguing, it's not toxic. Oh my God, it's the best feeling. I have that with my wife. It's the best thing. She passive aggressive, but she gets what she wants. Y'all think she goody two shoes, but she get what she want. But she had to be like, hey, babe, yeah, do you see that over there? I was looking at that. Like, yeah, I seen it, but I wasn't trying to do nothing with it right now. So, like, if you want to do something with it, you can do it. But she
this
doesn't
show is
wait.
about you, sir, not me.
Telling everything.
Are you telling all the business?
Just joking. But yeah, I just show up for my niece, and because those are my babies. Like, honestly, my when my sister had Jordan when she was 14, and Jordan's dad was 21. My mom tried to go after that fact of trying to get him, but she couldn't because they said my sister looked like she was 18. I vowed then when she was born that I would make sure she was good. You know what I mean? And that was in like high school. My sister was 14, I was like 18, about to graduate. It was just, and then I saw how much it was a lot on my mom when my sister had my niece. So I was always scared after that to go out and have sex, do anything with anybody. I was going through my stuff my own self, but I always made sure she got to school, she got to the babysitter's house. Even if my sister walked to school, because we were kind of down the street, but I had a car, I would make sure I take the baby to the babysitter's house, which was Jordan, and then I would pick her up after school if I didn't have to be somewhere for sports or something like that. So, I mean, I vowed to always protect her. And then I know with her dad not being in her life, that just with the girls, it's a little bit different. I don't know what it is about girls, but it's a little bit different. Like I'm very protective over when it comes to my niece and my great niece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly feel like being one of the women in your life and seeing how you interact with all of us, I mean, even mom, even down to your sisters, you know, and then my sisters, my nieces, you know what I mean? I think you just have it in you that you protect women, that you defend our honor and, you know, things like that. So
Yeah.
it's just who you are. You know what I mean? It's one of those things that I've learned over the years that it's just who you are. I mean, even down to you watching things on like social media, you are like annoyed and pissed when you see women being wronged and disrespected and mistreated or cheated on, things like that. And so I can tell that it's just it's who you are. Like it's just the way that you're wired.
You know why I think, sorry to cut you off, but you know why I think it's like that too? It's because, like I said, I've seen so many, you know, a lot of, how can I put this? A lot of women I've noticed, and like I said, guys do too, have been manipulated when they were younger into doing grown things that they shouldn't have been doing.
Yeah.
And now we have out here these group of people who are finding themselves again because they've been wrong so long.
Yeah.
That it's not fair. It's not right. You know, you should never manipulate someone because they're younger than you in that capacity to get what you want. Because to me, you just look like a pedophile. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the same time, and then these women, they grow up with these traumas that when they finally do get into a good relationship, they don't know how to take that guy. Like, are you just going to leave me? Like, we went through our thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We went through our thing as far as like in the beginning, you thought, you know, I wasn't serious about you. And I told you, I'm going to marry you. You know what I mean?
You did.
But while you were going through your growth and finally breaking down everything to me and your therapy and everything like that, you know, I hate that for you. I hate that you had to go through this. I hate that anybody has to go through this.
Yeah.
This trauma, that like that generational curse, like people doing things that, heck, I had the generational curse, but it made me who the man I am today. You know what I mean? So some people can't get past that.
Yeah, it's really hard. Like I know even firsthand, like I said, I've shared a lot of my story on the podcast. And so, you know, it's no secret that, yeah, I have my own trauma. And, you know, I've talked about this plenty of times that it has made it hard for me to be open and receive healthy love. You know, because you are very affectionate. You are very loving.
I'm a cuddle bug, you know?
Yeah. And I'm like,
So,
right, but it's true. Like, you know,
I would honestly think you were the dude in the relationship.
Right? Like, I'm quite mannish.
But I'm like, I don't care. I'm secure in myself to be okay with that.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is, you're right. You know, we have experienced these things growing up that were never ours to carry. We've been fighting for so long. And so I'm thankful that you know, stayed on this ride with me, because I know, like, when I first started going to therapy, that was hard on you. And I didn't intentionally do it, you know, but I knew that I knew that something was wrong. You know, we had conversations, and you know, you knew that things were off, you know, at that point when I started going to therapy. And so I had to fight for me, but I got tunnel vision while I was fighting for me. And yeah, I kind of lost sight of the us portion. And we've talked about this. I mean, it's not like it's any surprise, and I'm not above, you know, saying this on here, but you know, it got to a point where I became quite selfish in my self-care. Not to intentionally hurt you or anything. I just had tunnel vision, and I was so over everything that I had been through. And I was like, I'm ready to heal. I am ready to grow. And I don't want to lose you. Like, I don't want to lose what we have, because I knew that it was right for me. And I knew that I had to heal. And that's why I fought it, you know, so hard. And there was a point where I had to fight you so hard for my healing, because I knew that I wanted to be a better wife to you. But in order for me to be a better wife to you and a better mother to our son, I had to be a better me to me. You know, and so I definitely thank you for riding that ride with me, because it was rocky. I mean, not that I felt like our marriage was ever in jeopardy, because we pride ourselves on having excellent communication. Like, if we ain't got nothing else going for us, we can talk about everything. We can talk about the hard stuff. Like, we don't shy away from a conversation, you know?
Right.
But I'm just thankful that, you know, you loved me enough to love me through the darkness.
Like, when I tell you I love you, I don't say it just to be saying that. I don't waste time. I don't waste energy saying that. When I say I love you, if I fucks with you, I fucks with you.
Right.
If I don't, I don't. And you know me as a person, I'm quick to cut someone off when I feel like their energy is negative or it's not in the right place. I will cut you off. I would rather be by myself than deal with drama, deal with traumatic people. And I don't care. I will cut you off. I cut family members off. I could give two fucks about how they feel, because I had to learn to put me first. You know what I mean?
You're almost as quick as me. You know, you're catching
Man,
up.
woo!
You're
I cut off game quick now. They be like, you talk to Shannon? No, I ain't hear from Shannon all the time. And you won't. You won't.
That's right, baby.
You on that bullshit. So, but yeah, so but I learned that, you know, I learned a lot from you too. You know, I keep telling you that. And, you know, in our relationship, you know, I joke and I say I took you off the street, but when I say that, turn the whole down. No, I'm just joking.
Go ahead. Speak. Talk your shit.
When I say that, I just be messing with you. But when I met you, you know, I was in a low place myself. And I realized what I did not want to have to deal with anyone. And I told you up front, and you know I was serious when I told you that.
Yeah.
Don't waste my time. Do not waste my time. If it ever got to a point in this relationship you are not happy or whatnot, do not waste my time. I would respect you more if you don't waste my time. But if there's a situation where I catch you in, because I have that third eye, like if I catch you in it, it's a wrap for me. I will lose all respect. You know how quick it works.
Yeah.
You get it. You get it. Like, what? Next. So,
on, baby, one monkey don't stop no shit.
Right, like, I'm telling you. And you know that is me all day, but I don't know if that's the sign of the Geminis or whatnot, but yeah. I don't play when it comes to my peace anymore. And if we've had something in our family that I had to shut down and be like, look, I'm not on that bullshit. If you want to stay on that shit, you can stay on it, but I'm gonna be over here. Don't come over here with that.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm very adamant about my peace now, because I can't, honestly, as me running this household, being the head of the household, trying to be there for you emotionally, physically, and mentally, and then be there for my son and
Right.
be there for my mom and my niece. I don't have time for extra BS. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't mentally. I don't. So there's sometimes I before I come into the house after work, I sit in my truck just to digress and just like basically just try to get my head back in the game so I can actually go back to doing what I do best. Because what I don't want to ever do to you guys, and I've done it in the past, but I had to check myself. It's like I would be so stressed out that sometime I would be short with y'all or had an attitude with y'all when it had nothing to do with you guys.
Yeah.
You know, like I've told my son before. I went off on him one time and I had to tell him, look, I'm sorry. I apologize. That had nothing to do with you. It's just I had a long bad day today.
Yeah.
It's all them other suckers in the street that peed me off to why.
Yeah.
And I say you just caught me at the wrong time. But it's stuff like that I take into consideration, and the negative energy. I don't have the capacity anymore. So
You better tell them, baby.
I'm telling
Capacity. Word of the day.
capacity. Once you reach your maximum capacity, it is time to exit the room because honestly, people like me, they say you got to be careful with people like me sometimes because we hold everything in, and this is also, it's not even me, but it's a lot of people like those ones that laughed or goofy, whatever, and you don't know what they're hiding or what they're like mentally going through.
Yeah.
Anything could set them off, and you got to be careful with people like that. It's about empathy. Like if somebody's having a bad day and you notice that they're stressed out, you're not supposed to basically egg them on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That could end up taking them to another place which is very dark, and I've been in a dark place before. Prior to my marriage, my first marriage and my second marriage, when I was younger, I was very suicidal. I've even attempted it, but something told me. I remember crying on the edge of my bed one day, and I just called out to God, and I was just like, please help me. And I just know I went to sleep and I felt relaxed the next day, like nothing happened. And ever since then, I felt like I had a purpose to live. And that's why I'm still here. You know what I mean? Even
Yeah.
with all the mess going on in the world, I'm still here. So.
Yeah. And, through everything that you've been navigating here lately, because this last 18 months has been a ride for us. You know what I mean? A nonstop ride. And, through everything that you've been navigating between, family, just the societal pressures, your health, I honestly believe that I've watched your faith grow in quiet but very powerful ways. And it seems like when things start to get too heavy for you, that I've noticed that prayer really becomes your anchor. And it's not that you're the out, I got to be out and, I'm praying to, like you're not a performance prayer.
Because it talks about when you pray by yourself.
Yeah.
When you pray, for me, when I pray, if you listen long enough or hard enough, you will hear the answer. I know you used to try to get me into therapy, and you still do, but I look at it as another bill. You know what I mean?
I'm working on it. It's okay.
I know, but it's okay. But understand that I do get my therapy that I need, but I take it's more spiritual than a human. Because I look at another bill and I'd be like, oh, that's another bill. I don't want to do that. I could talk to God for free. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you just listen hard enough without all the extra chaos in your life, or you try to eliminate that, then you could really listen to what you need to do. Like right now, for me, get your health in order.
Yeah.
Make sure you do this, because if you keep going this way, you're not going to be here for your family. And you can't leave her right now. She needs you. So that's all I keep hearing. So that's me right now. Like, that's me trying to get back on my game and stay focused and not stop this time. So
how has your relationship, with with faith, I guess, grown during these hard seasons that we've experienced?
Stronger.
Yeah.
I would say stronger. I find myself, I know this is TMI. I could wake up, go to the bathroom in the middle of the night and be talking to God and be like, thank you, thank you, thank you. I
Yeah.
always wake up, and I do. I always wake up around 3 o'clock in the morning to go to the restroom. And that's when I say thank you the most.
Yeah.
I love it. It's just like my mom, she'd be like, you don't go to church. I'm like, you don't have to have church all the time to believe in
Yeah.
God. You know what I mean? God is within us.
Yeah.
He talks to us all the time. We just have to listen. When we listen, like in life, I have realized when you try to rush things, they never end up the way you always want them to end up.
Right.
They don't. I rush so many things in life, relationships, friendships. You just buying shit.
Yeah.
Like, and then you get it and you like, you know what? I really didn't need that. So
Right.
I'm learning to listen and just
Be still. I
be
mean,
still and just listen. Like if you listen, it'll speak to you. It speaks to you.
yeah.
If
I
it
mean,
doesn't, I think there's something else going on. But I hear it all the time, and on those occasions where a prime example when in 2022 I developed a blood clot. Prior to that, my blood pressure was high. And I told myself I had to go to the doctor, and you were like, "Oh, okay." So I go, and then they tell me, "Yeah, your numbers are crazy."
mhm,
22. Remember I told you something told me to take my butt into the ER. Come to
mhm.
find out, I had blood clots in my lungs, PEs. 2023, thinking everything is fine. Doctor approves me, I'm good to go. Later on that year, I can't breathe going up and down the stairs. Something's not right. Take your butt to the doctor is what I kept hearing I went to the doctor. I was about to, leave because I had my work belt and stuff on, and they were like, "Oh, you have to take that off." And I was like, "No, I'll take it off. I'll just come back later."
Yeah.
Got to the car, turned right back around because something said, "Take your ass in there." Take my butt back in there. What do I have again? More PEs in my chest.
Yeah.
And if people don't know what PEs are, they're deadly. Pulmonary embolism or something like that.
Yeah.
They could kill you instantly. Drove all the way from Ohio to New York with PEs in my chest. Can't breathe really. But by the grace of God, he allowed me to go on my cruise with my wife, even though I slept on the balcony the whole time and I couldn't have fun like I wanted to. But I made it back and I'm still here. It's all
Yeah.
because I listened to that voice in my head. So yeah, I mean, I listen. Like I have learned to listen with my diabetes. What again? Shannon, you're thirsty. You're using the bathroom a lot. Go to the doctor. Something's not right.
Yeah.
Again, that voice I kept hearing in my head, my body talking to me like, hey, something ain't right. You need to go in. Now everything is under control now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you just have to listen.
And I think that the listen part for you, we've talked about this when you first started telling me that you were waking up at 3 a.m.
Mhm.
You using that time to pray is awesome because they call that hour, and we've talked about this, but they call that the witching hour, which is basically, the time where they say, it's the best time for you to actually connect spiritually. Like it's the divine hour.
I believe.
And so they say when you wake up between 3 and 4 a.m., I mean, you constantly are doing that's the moment where you need to pray and you need to give thanks. And, you need to be able to ask those questions that you have about, whatever's going on in your life and receive your download from the universe.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm thankful that is something that you're experiencing because I know that you are the kind of in the still of the night type of guy where when everything else is at peace. And, during 3 to 4 a.m., our house is probably the quietest.
The quiet.
Because at that point, our son is probably finally done gaming for the night. And, the girls are asleep and mom is asleep. I'm asleep, and so you have the opportunity to just be still. And and it's kind of like your judgment-free hour where you don't have to worry about if we're okay, because
everybody's in the house, everybody's here.
Yeah.
When everybody is here, I feel more at peace when everybody's here, because they're able, if anything were to break out, I feel like that's when I could protect, do my job, duty as a man. So
yeah. And I want to back up just a little. We were talking about the girls and, the legacy that you are trying to display for them, being there for them, and, mirroring this behavior again to our son, because again, he sees you step up for mom, but he's also witnessing you step up for the girls too, in addition to maintaining and still being there and being a very active, part of his life. When thinking of, I guess, maybe the girls, and our son specifically, what do you hope that they remember about how you showed up for them?
What do I hope?
Yeah.
They remember. I hope they remember I showed up, and to make sure to pay it forward. Shit. To motherfuckers. I'm just being real. Like, you better remember me, because if not, I'm a macho ass.
Right.
All this work I did for no reason.
Right. But I mean, like, even in their relationships.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I just want them to be able to, like, with my son, I want him to find a respectable girl. If she has past traumas, to be understanding, to be gentle with her, to create a safe place for her. Because the thing is, we all need safe space. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't care if it's a man or a woman, but I just feel like women need it a little bit more than men sometimes. Because to me, with women who've had past traumas, it's sometimes I feel like it'd be harder for them in a little bit. But like I said, everybody is different. So yeah, I just go with our relationship. I know what you went through. If I could take the pain away, I wish I could take the pain that you went through and put it on me so I can hold it for you. What my nieces go through, I wish I could take that pain away. What my mother's going through, I wish I could take that away from her. You know what I mean? I can't, and I understand we all experience life in there, and it's either life is going to either make us or break us. You know what I mean? There's some people who they go through these past experiences and they don't come out on top of it. They give up, or it's the burden is too heavy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And those are the ones I wish I could really take the pain away, because I could handle it. I'm strong. Like, mentally, when it comes to certain things, I'm just strong. I don't care. Because all I need approval from is me and God, and that's it. That's all. I don't care about what people think of me. I don't care about, I don't care. I care what I think about. There was a point I did care what people thought about me, but I'm like, at this point in my life, I'm like I told you, what's my 3 F's?
We got it, sir.
Okay. So I'm just saying, so like, that's just where I just wish I could take the pain away from them. And with my great niece, she's already going to have that pain of her father not being in her life. When she gets older and she realizes my father didn't want to, that hurts me. You know what I mean? Yeah. My father didn't want to be around me all like that. You know what I mean? He didn't want to take care of me and, raise me. Even with her grandpa, he didn't want to be around me like that. That hurts me dearly. She's already going to have to deal with that. And that's a traumatic trauma for her. And she don't even know it yet. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, she's going to realize that's my pawpaw right there. But when she realized that I'm just really her great uncle, and that her dad and her grandpa her like biological grandpa didn't step up for her, she's already going to have to deal with that. And she's going to have questions like, why weren't you there for me, but you was there for XYZ? You know what I mean? So I see this coming a mile away. I see it coming. My niece is the way she is now, and not in a bad way, because she's awesome niece. I mean, that's my baby. You know
She
what I mean?
alright.
She
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 alright.
she she had my back from when I went through my divorce. She had my back. She even told you, heard him, see what happened.
Yeah, girl gonna slide in my DMs, y'all. She gonna slide in my DMs asking me what my intentions is with her uncle, because she don't play about him. But now she don't play about me either. So,
But so, like, even with that, like, she's 27. She'll be 27 next week, actually. I bought her a birthday cake, you know what I mean? And just doing something like that made me feel good as a Uncle Pawpaw, you know what I mean? Or Uncle Daddy. With her, it's Uncle Daddy, but with the little one, it's Uncle Pawpaw Daddy.
Yeah.
Because it just means that I see you. And I understand that raising a baby is, I do, but I don't, but I could feel it. That raising a baby by yourself is hard. Because, it's hard. Just a kid, and the people out there that have multiple kids and the dad's not stepping up, it irks the mess out of me. But
I mean, you even showed up at a point in my life when we met. I was a solo parent. Like, I don't consider myself a single parent because, our son is adopted. And so with that, having him by myself, I was a solo parent. I didn't have to necessarily worry about baby daddy drama or, a baby daddy not being there because I adopted him. At the time I was fostering. But, meeting you immediately, like, you wasted no time stepping in and filling a void for me, even if it was simple, you saying, well, I can drop him off so you can sleep in, and, little things like that, giving me the break that I didn't even realize that I needed.
You did.
And, so you've been, I guess, kind of that rock since I've known you. You know what I mean? Like, you're the type of person where you see a problem, and if you have a solution to the problem, you're on it. And if not, you're like,
I'll figure it out. Let me get back with you.
Yeah, like, well, okay, what we gonna do? But I think that's just really kind of who you are. And, like, even now I think of through every single thing that we're going through, like I said, with our household size has more than doubled. And so through all of this, you're still going through your stuff physically and mentally. And I don't know, like, it's still a lot that's on you. And I think that you're doing it very gracefully because you're still smiling. You're still positive. In fact,
I don't got nothing else to do. Shit. Well, I'm cry. It ain't gonna get me nowhere. Shit. I just ride a roller coaster and keep it moving. Choo choo.
I'm so weak. Okay, sir. So how do you navigate caring for yourself when your instinct is to take care of all of us first?
Like I said before, I'm getting to a point where I love y'all, but when I know you guys are good, your health is good, guys. Okay. My mom is.
It's okay.
But I have to. Me navigating this is like, okay, now I need to put me first. Meaning, like, as far as my health first. Get back in the gym. I take my medication, eat healthier. If I go out to eat, try to find healthier options versus carbs. Rice is a big thing for me. I love rice. Not a sweets person.
Yeah.
I just love rice and potatoes.
Yeah.
So for me is finding out what works for me. Once I get my diet down packed, then I will start hitting the gym even more so. There was a time where I was working out, but I think I was working out for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
and I was working out for you.
For me?
I'm gonna tell you why. Like in the beginning of our relationship, I was working out for me because there was a point in time where we hit a dry spell.
Yeah.
And I thought it was because of attractiveness, And for a minute, I went through that because of our dry spell. So I was like, oh, well, maybe if I had bigger muscles and all this other stuff, she would want me more. But it wasn't because of that, is what I've learned after you went through therapy, you went through your stuff. It was something within you.
Yeah.
So I was working out for the wrong reasons. Now, don't get me wrong. I was working out for me too, but I think it was mainly that. Because I was like, oh, I could last longer too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it do, but but it was like, it wasn't the right reason.
Yeah.
And now I'm to a point where, and remember, like I told you earlier, I'm a cuddle bug. So I used to just want to be around you and just be around you and you. And then when you kept saying, and I was just like, me.
Yeah.
I had to learn to find happiness within myself. And I did that because now I could take trips without having you around.
Yeah.
I could go places and not feel a certain type of way. You know what I mean? That you're not with me. Do I want you with me? Yeah, I do. But at the same time, because I want you to experience what I am experiencing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I know your past wasn't all that in the sense of traveling, stuff like that. I know your past wasn't men showing up for you the way I feel like I showed up from you from day one.
Right.
And I just wanted you to experience life. Because, I've heard your stories. I've heard your cries as far as what you went through, everything like that. And it's just like, I just want to show her she is worth it. And I meant that. When I told you you're worth it, you are worth it. I'm still here. I told you I was going to marry you.
Yeah.
People told me I was crazy for jumping in another relationship after a divorce. And as you know, I told them, fuck what you're talking about. This is the one. Yeah. And I meant that, you know what I mean? So, I would get in a fight. I would drop a family member for you if I had to. That's just me. When I tell you this is who I am, this is who I am. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
About anything in the beginning, I was upfront with you about. I have no. When you with me, I don't believe in like privacy. I believe in transparency.
We're working on that though, because like you bring that up, but I think that in marriage, yes, I think that transparency in any relationships, like in everything we do, transparency is key. Like we've always joked around that we don't have iPhones, we got We phones, right? And so, it's not that we have to go through each other's phone, because I've never once felt like I had to go through your phone, or like I've never.
I don't see it's like DoorDash. Like the Bullet Ranch or Bullet Ranch or Home Depot.
Yeah. But I do believe that people are still entitled to their privacy.
Yeah.
But like when you have the right person, you're not
checking.
You're not like checking for that. But a lot of it is because we step into it with our past traumas, with things that have happened from our old relationships. And so, because of the nature of your first marriage and you being cheated on, you kind of came into our relationship like, listen here, girl.
You waste
like
my time.
This is not what we gonna do. Exactly.
You gonna be on first. You want to be on Snap.
First 48 or happily ever after. Exactly. But I mean, so I think that transparency is key in a marriage. Like I tell people all the time, you know, when people are getting married, they always say, oh, you know, what advice do you have to give? And I'm like, well, transparency is key. Like you have to openly communicate. Exactly. But you still are entitled to your privacy, because at the end of the day, you're still individuals. It takes two individuals to make a marriage work. And I think that a lot of people don't, you know, really don't understand that the difference between transparency and privacy. And, you know, we've had our thing when it's come to that. As far as me fighting for privacy.
Yeah,
because you're like, no, it's fine. She's my wife. You tell her, you tell me. You know, like you're like, but even me,
we friends.
Yeah, exactly. We all go together. But you know, but I think that that's something that you had to kind of step into, but that forced you to have to heal some things that you had and realize that she's not her, or this is not what that was.
Right.
But again,
it was hard though, because you know, when you would say, if I tell you that that's what it is, I don't have anything to hide. That was hard for me to hear, because I heard that in my past relationship. I heard that oh, they'd tell you something, but they would manipulate. And me, I'm such a forgiving person, but that's why I said in this relationship, there's going to be things I don't accept anymore. And I just created my boundary. And I told you that up front when we sat down and we talked, and I told you what I expected. And when I say expected, I don't mean in a demanding way, but what I expect from this relationship. I don't expect toxic stuff. I don't do toxicity at all. It drains the heck out of me. And honestly, I don't want, I would rather be alone than deal with somebody that's toxic.
Oh, you know, 100%.
Yeah, I would rather be alone and on my own than deal with somebody who's toxic and that's all they know, or want to fight or argue all the time, because life is too short to do all. I mean, life is just too short, you know. And with you and I, we laugh, we bug out, we separate. And when I say separate, I mean like she never comes out of her little office that I made for her. She loves this little office. Even my mom be like, does she ever come out of that room? She's like my little hermit.
Yeah.
So I'll be like, I've gotten to a point where I don't even ask you to go to family functions all like that anymore, because I'm like, she don't want to come out of her room, she working. Right. But sometimes I'm just like, but I understand why you are the way you are, and I'm fine with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, like if you like the little incident that happened not too long ago, I just feel like nobody owes you anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah. And I feel like as long as me and you are okay, like I don't care what other people think about our marriage. I don't care about what other people think about our relationship, because you know what I mean? Like I just care about what you think about us, because at the end of the day, it's me and you. And you know, I just, like I said, as long as you understand, you know, when something's brought to our attention, I mean, we come together, we talk about it. I don't know.
That's what I love about. That's what I love about our relationship. We could talk. Like honestly, when I come home, even though I'm stressed, I still get butterflies like coming in to see you. Yeah. Like,
so I'm not gonna lie. Like when you sit in the van too long, I'm like, okay, you okay? You know, okay? Like I give you a little bit of time, and then I'm like, you okay out there? You coming in? And you know, that's like at night when you're tired of me being in my office. You're like, are you coming home?
Yeah, like when you coming home?
Yeah, like when you coming home? You know,
right? Because a man is alone.
I get it. I'm working on it. You know, And one of the things, like speaking of like our real talks, because again, we do talk about everything.
Everything.
You know, we've had some real talks around therapy, and you know how complicated, you know, therapy can feel, especially for Black men, right? Between the cost, the cultural stigma that's attached to it, and just, you know, trying to survive day by day. So I do get like why it can feel out of reach to some people, but I've also seen you kind of wrestling with wanting to heal in deeper ways. Not necessarily just saying like going to therapy, but you want to heal you and whatever that looks like for you. And so you're actively trying to fight for your healing. And so I want to ask you honestly, specific specifically to like therapy, like what are your real thoughts on therapy?
The cost.
Yeah.
Thanks.
But like excluding the cost, like what are your thoughts on actual like the process of therapy? Like people, especially men getting therapy.
It could be for some.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say therapy isn't probably gonna be for everybody, but for the ones that go and they do need someone to just vent to and get it off their chest, do it. Especially if you're in a toxic situation where there's really nobody you could talk to. Do it, because honestly, I have learned, and I love my sister to death. I do. Me and her talk all the time, every day. There was a time where I was trying to talk to her to get opinions, but I feel like, man, what she was giving me was good for her at that time. But you got to understand, she was coming from a single mindset. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I even talked her into going through therapy because she was dealing with some past traumas from, her and my mom when she was younger. So I had to step back and stop and be like, I can't talk to her. I can't, because then it creates a biased situation.
Yeah.
And then that's when you got family members against each other. Because I want peace. So then I don't want my wife and my sisters fighting because they're both my babies. You know what I mean? So with men going to therapy, for me, if you're going to go to therapy, go to a reputable one, or find you someone that I don't know. It's kind of hard because it's like you could talk to other people, but everybody going through their own stuff right now. Even therapists have therapists. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
but I would just say it's not a bad idea, especially if it's deep, if it's very, very deep, or you just need to go and talk. Go ahead and talk. Like I said, for me, one day I'll make it there. I'm not going to say, oh, yeah, just because we're having this podcast is going to be tomorrow or the next day. But what I am saying, it's not out of my book for me not to go there. Might be one day I do go, because granted, yeah, I'm taking everything easy now, but you got to understand everything is still new. Check with me 3 or 4 years, 5 years down the line. My story may be like, yep, I'm in therapy. I needed that shit. You know what I mean? So, that's why I said I don't rule therapy out necessarily. It's just with men, sometimes it is hard to open up sometime. Can you be like, where do I start? Like, where do I really start? You know what I mean?
What would you say has been holding you back from trying therapy?
The cost. For me, it's always the cost, because you got to think, I'm head of household. I'm already doing a lot. You know what I mean? Yeah. And what I don't want to do is keep doing and then on top of that, the time, when you're a business owner, sometimes it's like, yeah, you can set your times, but sometimes I'm just like, I don't have time for it. And the time I do get, sometimes I don't feel like talking.
Right.
Sometimes I before, when I told you, when we get done with the podcast, I wanted to kind of do it early so I can get it over with, not in a bad way, but so I can have my downtime to just kind of zone out.
Yeah.
I'd be needing that, this interest of for me, I started a new collection of guns. I love guns now. I used to play with them back in the day when my dad had them, but when I got older, I noticed you didn't want me having one in the household. And now I just got to a point where it's just about locking it up, keeping it safe, and everything like that. I have this infatuation with guns now, and I love them. You know what I mean? Just because I have guns don't mean like somebody's crazy. It's just you got to be mature to use them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you have to be responsible.
Exactly. Responsible. And, guns don't kill people. People kill people. You know what I mean? And I've always felt that way. Just like money's not the root of all evil, it's people. If you put a dollar bill down, it don't do nothing to you.
Right.
But what happens is people get greedy.
Right.
And when people get greedy, that's when money becomes the bad. Everybody's always searching for that bag. No. People need to be searching for peace within themselves so people can start treating each other better and try to turn this world, this hateful world around. Because honestly, I mean, the hate that we have in this world is just, it's mind-blowing. And it's like for no reason. Because at the end of the day, we all bleed red. We all are going to die. Nobody's perfect. I don't care how perfect you think you are. You're not perfect.
Yeah.
So there's a flaw to all of us. We were all made differently. And people just have to accept that. Like, it's not going to change. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
So when thinking about therapy, what would need to shift mentally, emotionally, or even practically for it to feel more like a safe and realistic option for you?
To get the cost down.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also like, I understand they got to make their own money too, because this is what they went to school for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just more so it's looked at another bill that you have to pay. And that's where it is, because you already feel like you're paying enough bills. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, and then time, like to sit there and.
But you say people make time for what they want.
Like they do.
So if you want a healing, then you have to make time for it.
Right. Like, so you want to heal and I want to kill. So and I'm just joking.
All the more reason we need to get you.
No, just joking. So nah. But nah,
I mean, that from the record.
Don't take it out neither.
Woo, yeah. Y'all asked for this podcast now, y'all.
Nah, real talk.
You get what you get. You don't throw a fit, y'all. Y'all asked for this. Yeah. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Nah, but like therapy. What was your question again?
The hell if I know at this point. No, seriously, you answered it though. Somewhat answered it, but I asked, what would need to shift in order for therapy to feel more safe and like a more safe and realistic option for you. So you need more like the time to do it and the money.
Yeah, the time and the money, because things are going up, not going down, and it's just kind of like you got to be, like I said, and I don't know what it is with me. I love just talking to God.
Yeah.
Sometimes you even catch me just talking to myself out loud. And you be like, who are you talking to? I be like, me, myself,
crazy.
And God. No, I ain't crazy because even though I be talking, like if you you sit there and you run things over, like I'm not crazy. I talk to myself all the time, but I don't think I'm crazy. I just feel like, me and God be having a conversation about something I be really thinking about, and it's healthy for me, just to get out and just say, but to get out what I need to get out at that point. Because with therapy, I'm going to be honest with you. With therapy, you could be going through something, but you got to schedule it. I need to talk to somebody now, like right now. And sometimes like therapy is not, it don't always be convenient for that capacity for me to talk to someone. I may be having a situation or going through something because I replay things back in my head, and then I go, okay, this is what I'm going to say, or this is how I'm going to approach this manner. Because the thing is, I'm very cool tempered,
Mm-hmm.
and I try to keep a cool temper because I had to teach me and my sister are working with her. She's a hothead. You know what I mean? And it takes a lot for me to get upset or angry. So for me, I weigh my options before I blow up. Number one, that blow up puts a lot of stress on your body, especially when you get older.
Mm-hmm.
It puts a lot of stress on your body. So I try to focus on how to approach a situation, because it's not what you say, it's just how you say it. You know what I mean? You can still get you can still get what you're trying to get out across by just the way you say things. Now, if you come with negative energy, people are going to meet you back with negative energy. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And that's why you got to be careful how you say things to people, because some people don't take tone. They take tone and that's what they run with, and that's how they end up interacting. Now, she's more so on that. If you talk to her a certain way, she's going to probably talk to you a certain way. Me, you could talk to me a certain way and I'll just look at you and I'll just leave the situation, because apparently you're not on that level where you can emotionally comprehend our conversation when you're in that mindset. So, yeah.
Yeah. And so I know that we're in this together.
Mm-hmm.
And, for me, I try to hold space for you just like you do for me. And as I continue to walk in, my purpose, healing and growing towards being a better wife and a better mother, I'm always asking myself, am I showing up for you in the ways that you need? And I know that it's not, always easy for you to carry as much as that you do. So I try to be mindful of how I show up for you, to make sure that I give you the opportunity to, I don't know, just to be yourself. Like when you step out there in the world as a Black man, you are guarded. Your guard is up because you have this almost like a burden of being a Black man in America. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like when you come home,
it's real. Like, people don't understand it. It's real. Like, the fact that, it's real. Like, being a Black man in America is real. Like, it's not just, people talking about this Black fatigue, Black this, Black that. It's rough,
Mm-hmm.
Not only do you, it's just like that with the world. Sometimes you got to be it with your own people. You know what I mean? So
So when thinking about our relationship, what has our partnership meant to you through all of this? In this last decade of us knowing each other, right? What has our relationship meant to you during all of that?
everything. It's meant everything in the capacity of, when I come home and I could talk to you about what I'm going through and you listen. You listen without interruption. And then me, I'm still working on that, but you listen without interruption.
Yeah.
And you help me get over, like, you're my peace. You know what I mean? Like, I could talk to you, I could be having a horrible day, and you could say something to calm me down. Even with my son, when he drives me crazy, you could, you know how to say something in a gentle way that calms me down and just be like, reset. And I love that about you.
Yeah.
And it's not in a toxic way. It's in a very gentle, loving way. It's like you don't even have to touch me. And it's like your voice is just, I could look at you, like I'm looking at you now, and I'm just like, she's so beautiful. You know what I mean? She got some nice lips.
My God.
So I'm sorry.
You don't have to apologize for loving
But
your wife.
I
I'm
know, but
learning.
I love you. So I
No,
just
I'm learning how to accept it. With my past trauma, makes it makes that uncomfortable to me.
mhm,
But I know that it is coming from a healthy place. It's coming from a
mhm,
good place. And so I'm learning to receive it. So I'm woman enough to say, like, I apologize to you even for the times that I made you feel like you were flawed just because you were loving me.
mhm,
Because I know that was hard for us.
mhm.
And there was, rejection and things that were pushed because I had unhealed trauma. And,
Right.
I'm still working on it. I'm a work in progress. But I don't know. Again, I'm thankful for that. And,
Mhm,
through me going to therapy and you pushing me to continue to go to therapy and fight for my healing,
mhm.
you've kind of gotten like a secondhand therapy. Like
So
I
that's
tell
how I
my
was telling
therapist,
you. That's what I was telling you. I said, wait a
yeah,
minute, you get it, you go, and I learn what you learn, and then
yeah.
I apply it to my life. So
Yeah, and I
yeah.
told my therapist, I was like, you do understand that this is a 2-for-1 special, right? That I'm gonna come to you and I'm gonna go ahead and pay for this session, but it got to be real good, girl, because I gotta go home and I gotta,
So
teach it to my husband.
right, you don't tell me
Because
everything, but you tell me the gist of what you been through,
yeah,
and I take that and I try to apply it in my everyday life.
yeah, I'll be
Try to.
hearing you secondhand coaching people too. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna send you a bill to
Mm-hmm.
send them people because you be repurposing my content, and I'll be like,
Right.
hold on, sir, I said that.
What Ronnie
Like,
say? You gotta use what you got to get what you want.
so even thinking of that, all jokes aside, as far as like this kind of secondhand therapy or whatever,
Hmm.
um, have I been a help to your healing?
Yeah, because I mean, like I said, I mean, I was dealing with I was a yes man, and it got to a point where I had to stop being a yes man. And you see everybody, you know, they call me the golden child. I don't get it,
Oh,
but
oh, you get it. Don't act
no,
brand
I
new for
don't.
the
And I'm gonna tell
people.
you why I don't get it. I'm just being me.
Yeah,
I'm just a caring, very caring person. I'm not so quick to anger. It takes a lot for me to anger unless you mess with my family.
yeah.
Um, Other than that, I am very. I will leave a situation before I let it try to stress me out anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know, but that's just me. And it's like everybody seemed like they could talk to me. Like they tell me all the time, like people I don't even know are like that. They have a conversation with me and be like, "Oh, I feel like I could tell you my whole life story." I
Yeah.
don't know where that comes from, but I don't know if it's just me being me or whatnot. But I've had people who didn't do things. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
how I talk and I speak. Using words because I'm just being me.
Yeah.
To me, they're just words. You know what I mean? They're not like they're just words.
Yeah.
And I meet people and I try to teach them what I've learned in life because I want them to better themselves. I got a guy that works with me, was one of my employees, and I try to push him as much as possible to be just a better him and just be real. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And he is like he's working on him, but we all are working on each other at the same time. But sometimes it's just I just love being helping people, helping people. I love happiness. I love people to be happy.
Yeah.
It's hard
Yeah, it's
for.
just who you are. I mean,
Mhm,
that goes back to, even us extending our household.
mhm,
Honestly, even into like our relationship. I mean, you definitely are a person who, like, you're a pleaser. You're a giver. You know what I mean? But unfortunately, like when we met, you were surrounded by takers.
Hmm.
And, I think over time in our relationship, you were able to see that you were surrounded by more takers. And so it didn't mean that you had to stop being a giver.
Right.
You just needed to shift, that so that way you could also refill, you know what I'm saying? Like keep your cup full
Hmm.
because you were giving so much that you didn't even have time to replenish your own.
Right.
So I mean, I'm glad that if I played a part in it, I'm happy to have done so. Um, but
You played a part in it a lot because of the fact that I had to hold back from you too,
yeah,
because I felt like I was giving you love, 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 and I wasn't getting it back the way I needed it, and I had to step back for a minute and say, so she's not really affectionate, so I gotta work with that. I gotta chill out on the cuddle, being a cuddle bug. You
yeah,
know what I mean? And I know that it comes a lot from your unhealthy relationships that you've had in the past.
hmm,
I've had some too, but like when I say we're both different,
yeah,
people take trauma a little bit different. So like you take it different, but me, I'm like, okay, well, she hurt me, but I'm gonna keep moving. Now I may go through your phone and see what you who you was talking to about some, you know what I mean? That was in the beginning, but I had to step back and just be like, you know what? Let her be her
hmm,
and me be me. And yeah. And so far so good. I'm just like, yeah, I like it like this.
yeah, yeah. It gives you the opportunity to kind of focus on you more.
Yes.
Yeah,
And I think that's why I now love the fact that when you say you notice when you be like, I'm going in my room, I'll be like,
mhm,
all right, bye. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So, and I love like when you be like, are you going anywhere today? Yep, going to the range.
yeah. I mean, everybody deserves the opportunity to like fall in love with their likes. Like I
Hmm.
pushed you to take yourself on dates, and I'm like, oh, if you get an afternoon off from work, but I'm busy, you don't have to not go out and enjoy. Like take yourself on a lunch date. If
Yeah.
you want to take a trip, if you're like, oh, I want to go on this cruise, and I'm like, I don't want to go.
Okay.
I don't want you to miss out on the opportunity. Or, even when we cruise, you were interested in like certain excursions. And I'm like, I don't want to do all that. Like you were the adventurous one. You're like, I want to snorkel. And I'm like, I don't, but I'm like, but I don't want
You
to stop
don't. You
you.
just don't want to get your hair wet.
No, it's beyond that. But okay, if that's the story, if that's your
Because you can't
story,
swim.
exactly.
And the
It goes
barracuda
deeper.
almost got you the last time.
Exactly. I'm like, but if that's your story and you want to stick to it, hey. But yeah, thinking about just marriage in general or relationships in general, I guess. What do you think that, or I guess, what support do you think that wives or partners can offer their, husbands, um, to allow them, I guess, to help them navigate all of this pressure while still prioritizing their mental wellness?
That was a lot that you just said.
It is. Basically tell me, like speak to me
Hmm.
and all the other wives out there.
Hmm.
And things that you feel that we can do as wives to help you guys, and I'm this whole thing was about black men. You know what I mean? Because you're a black man in America, right? So, as your wife, what things could I do to help you continue to thrive, to continue to, you know, wake up every day doing all that you do for us? How could I?
Massages.
Yeah,
Yeah. So for me, you, you don't understand how much your touch means to me.
yeah,
And I don't even mean on a sexual level. Sometimes caressing my head and just sometimes men need to be held too. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, like we hold y'all all the time, but sometimes we just need somebody to hold us and be like, it's going to be okay, babe.
Yeah. You need to be the little spoon sometimes.
Right. And I'm cool with that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Rub your little crusty feet on my legs. I'm just joking.
Her. Like,
That means a lot. Like, that connection means so much. And sometimes I think a lot of men out here are dealing with a lot on their hands. Then they come home and then they're like, I need that affection from her. Y'all don't understand how much y'all touches are like, it's stronger than what y'all think.
yeah.
And it's not always just sexual.
Yeah.
That stress that we have, honestly, and we get it. Y'all have stress too. That's why I don't hesitate when you get out the shower. I massage your body or massage your feet or whatnot like that. Even when I'm tired, I would do that with no problem.
Yeah.
But sometimes we need it. We give it to you guys more than I'm not saying we need it every day, but sometimes it's just that touch twice a week or 3 times a week. And not even on a sexual, it's like an intimacy level that helps us restart. Like for me, that's what it does.
Yeah. It
Like I said,
allows you to,
everybody. I know a lot of the guys are different, but for me, that's what it does. That's what I need from my wife. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And that helps me wake up the next day and be like, you know what? I'm about to take on this motherfucking world.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, I think from what I've gathered, just within our marriage, is that it allows you the opportunity to be soft.
Mm-hmm.
And not like, I
And
don't mean like
vulnerable.
a weakness soft, but yeah, it allows you to almost come in and take off the armor and just be unapologetically who you are.
Just for me to be naked
Yeah.
instead of like, because when I go out there in the world, it's like, people know me and everything like that. But when I go out there in the world, especially when you own a business, you got to do everything. You quit a 9 to 5 job to work 24 hours, 7 days a week.
Yeah.
And then you come home and then you got to deal with stuff at home, things breaking at home. Then you got to be the one to fix it. Then you're just like, when do I ever get a break? So when I'm able to come into my bedroom with my wife and just lay in the bed and we just talk, listen to music, chop it up, just get, whatever.
Right.
Even if we're just looking at TikTok memes and we're like, babe, look, and we cracking up with each other.
Yeah.
That means a lot to me. Like that stuff like that means a lot to me, and I love that we could do that. Some guys, they don't have that. And they're already dealing with XYZ, or they got a wife or a woman who nags all the time and telling him his faults instead of working on herself and trying to get herself together. Because if you guys get yourselves together, it's like you could do so much more. But like with our relationship, that I just know that's what I need as a man.
Yeah. Yeah. And and even in the conversations that I have with my clients, I've learned
It's powerful
through them that, men being able to take off that armor, it's almost like lift the weight of the world off of them and come home. And it's not that you want to take that off of you and put it on me. You just want to take it off, leave it outside the door.
Mm-hmm.
And then in here, like, you just want peace. You don't want the chaos. You don't want the mess and the stress and the stress and
am I strong enough, or do this, you know what I mean? It's just sometimes I just want to come home and just be all
have
out.
your peace. Yeah, and just have your peace. Like you said, there's a nakedness that comes to that. And having a person that you can be with, like even me in my healing journey,
Mm-hmm.
I've talked about my trauma with exes. You know what I mean? In past relationships, I've shared parts of my trauma with them, but I still didn't feel safe
Mm-hmm.
enough to let my guard down.
Mm-hmm.
But like in this relationship, you know, and it took a minute. I'm not going to say it was instant, and to this day it's something that I still work on. It's an ongoing struggle. Like, I'm not healed, I'm healing,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I will forever be healing until the day that I die.
Mm-hmm.
um but I think that with you, the fact that you learned how to allow me to be vulnerable, you learned how to help me without judging, you know, and you asked questions and you encouraged and things like that. So, on the flip side, as your wife, I've learned that I also have to allow you to not be the strong one all the time, that I needed to allow you to be vulnerable and be weak. And, you know, I try my best to help you process your emotions, to say, you know what, okay, if you need to cry, you need to cry. If you need to feel, you need to feel, you know. And if you are in a dark space, I'm like, okay, cool, let me give you your moment, but we're not staying here. You know, like I tell you, like, okay, cool, you in a mood, that's fine. Feel how you need to feel. I'm gonna be back in an hour. Cause we gonna get through this shit. Like, we're gonna, you know, we're not going to stay down. Um, but I
Right.
think that, you know, being able, I'm grateful to be able to be here for you to come home to. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? Because I know how so many women can be out there. They could be very judgmental and just keep piling onto the pressure. So like, even having mom here, you know, that was not my it was not my plan. You know, but it was a need that I saw that I needed to feel, because I saw how stressed you were,
Mm-hmm.
watching things unfold, and I could empathize with so much of it. And I knew that me simply offering for mom to live here
Mm-hmm.
and to help you be the caretaker for her, I knew how much that would lift off of your plate.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to be that for you, because I do, you know, my vow was to be your peace and for us to always build together. So, um, um, I don't know. Like I said, it's an honor to be your wife. Like, even though you get on my
That
nerves
made me feel
sometimes.
good, I'm tell you.
God. Oh my God. Moving on, sir. So listen, as we get ready to close, I want to kind of I guess maybe like close with this, because I know that, you know, that there's going to be a man somewhere out there listening to this who feels like maybe he's drowning in silence. Maybe he feels like he's alone, tired, or unseen, because I know over the years in talking to you, you've experienced all of that before. You know, suffering in silence, feeling like you're by yourself, tired, not being seen for the person that you are, you know. So if you could speak to directly to that person who's in that season going through that, you know, the man who's out there holding it all together on the outside, but he's breaking down on the inside, what would you say to him today from your heart?
Don't give up. Do not give up. You might be going through a storm right now, but don't give up. That them clouds will surely pass. They will pass. You just got to stay focused and just don't give up. If it get to a point where it gets too dark, pray. And I'm talking about pray like it's your life is on the line, because honestly, prayer does work.
Yeah.
Um yeah, prayer is stronger than what you think, you know. If you don't believe, find it within yourself to talk to yourself, because there may be something that opens up your eyes to help you start believing. You know, we are all here temporarily. We all, life isn't, nobody gave us an instruction manual to handle what we needed to handle, but don't give up. There are going to be better days, but it also depends on what choices you make.
Yeah.
You can't you can't expect to put yourself in a bad situation knowing before you go into that situation that is bad and be mad about the consequences that happen after it. You have to think before you do. Think before you do and think before you speak, because when you speak, once those words are out there, they're spoken into existence. Take accountability where you're flawed. Nobody's perfect, but communicate that with the person, whoever you're with. I don't care if you're with a man or a woman or same sex, whatever. Communicate. Communicating is key to everything. Be slow to anger towards other people that have done you wrong. Karma's a bitch. It will come back. Just don't give up. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's all I can really say is just don't give up.
Yeah.
If you fall, brush yourself off and get right back up. Because I'm going to tell you, honestly, everybody has a sad story. Everybody has a sad story. We all have sad stories. But it's what we do with our story is what makes the difference. And yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. No, and I respect that. I mean, the not giving up, continuing to fight is a huge part of the battle. So yeah, I thank you for that. I thank you for sharing that. And family, listen, if today's episode hit home for you, I want you to also know that you're not alone. This space that we've built is a space for healing, for vulnerability, for the conversations that we don't always feel safe having anywhere else. For every Black man that's listening to this, I think me and my husband speak to say you're not invisible. You're not weak for feeling. You're not alone in your struggles.
It's okay to cry.
Yeah.
I mean, I've broken down several times. I mean, sometimes you do need to get it out, but don't give up.
Yeah. Yeah. And we see you, we honor you, and we definitely hold space for you. And to the women, ladies out there, to the women who love these men, I hope that this episode gave you a glimpse into, what our men are carrying. And I encourage us to keep choosing love over assumptions, and more importantly, to keep choosing presence over perfection. Now, before we end today's episode, I want to speak directly to my husband for just a moment. Seriously, sir, listen, babe, I really just want to say this from the bottom of my heart, that I love you and that I value every single thing that you do. I want you to know that I see you even when you think that I'm not looking, even when I don't show up getting it right all the time. I honestly see how hard that you are working to keep this family covered. I see the sacrifices that you make every single day, the ones that you speak on and the ones that you keep to yourself silently. And I honor you for all of that. You are literally the calm in my chaos and the rock that I lean on. And I think that you're truly the heart of this house. Watching you love and lead and grow over the years has honestly inspired me more than you know. It is why I keep getting up, choosing to heal, choosing to be a better person. And even in your quiet moments, even in your tiredness, I honestly, truly see the greatness that's in you. So I just wanted to take this opportunity to tell you, thank you for choosing us.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for showing up for us and for allowing me and letting me walk this journey with you, because we're growing together. We are healing together and we are breathing together. So I just want you to know beyond a shadow of a doubt that I got you just like you got all of us.
No,
Yeah.
I can send you that bill now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that bill.
I'm gonna send you the other bill right back for that secondhand therapy. Because,
Oh, damn.
yeah, you got some years of making up to do, sir.
I'll make it up.
All right, give me a second, sir. I got you. We locked in, okay?
Okay.
As Lonnie say, hold tight. I got you.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, family, before we part ways, let me leave you guys with a little love and light. As always, I encourage you to keep breathing through the highs, the lows, and every moment in between. I encourage you to keep choosing peace, even when it feels out of reach, and to know that here at the Self-Care Club, you are always seen, always valued, and always supported. Don't be afraid to take up space, to speak your truth, and make a little room for you to breathe. I love you all to life, and I am praying that your day is not just amazing, but aligned, intentional, and yes, on purpose, filled with purpose. This has been the Room to Breathe podcast, and I cannot wait to connect with you all again soon. Thank you.
I found my